It's a Week 3 NFL Sunday. Let's look at some of the big games from today. In a matchup of unbeatens and a rematch of a divisional round playoff game in the NFC last year, we get the Eagles once again trying to reinvent the rushing offense that showed many chunk plays from Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley against this Rams defense last season. The Rams front seven has looked formidable so far, but will try to step up against their biggest challenge yet. Matthew Stafford had some ups and downs against this Eagles defense last year. They've had a little bit more give so far early in the season than they did in their Super Bowl year last year, and hopefully the Rams will find a way to score some points, because if this is back and forth, it could be a fun one. The Bengals and Vikings are trying to show which coaching staff and which supporting cast is better for supporting a backup QB, as backups Jake Browning and Carson Wentz are dueling here at a 1 p.m. game, which will have Jim Nantz on the call, which is hilarious that's the game that they put him on. But these teams are both looking at potential, wild card chase, playoff teams. They can sneak in. They have talented players at some parts of their roster in terms of the Bengals, their receivers, the Vikings, pretty much everywhere else, as well as receivers. So the Vikings supporting cast probably gets the lean here, but it's interesting to see if Jake Browning can carry, because he's looked pretty good with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins when he's had to come in to play for Cincinnati. And this will be a tough place to play in Minnesota. It'll be interesting to look at that offense with a new quarterback under center. The Broncos and Chargers have a really important game today for the AFC playoff chase, perhaps even for the AFC West chase here, because the Chiefs haven't looked amazing to start the season, although I expect they will be a part of this race as well. LA's looked very good on both sides of the ball. Denver has struggled at times on offense, and for the Chargers, if they can get a win here, they'll be 3-0 in the division through 3 weeks, which is a huge start for them, and Jim Harbaugh, of course. Justin Herbert's looked great. We'll see if he can continue against a very strong Broncos secondary here in Week 3. Dallas and Chicago in the game of the week slot with Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady on the call. The big one here will be about the Bears side of the ball on offense. It'll be a huge discussion about whether they can get it going, or Dallas's defense, which really struggled last week against the Giants offense. We didn't really think going into that game had much juice, but looked very good against Dallas. Dallas struggled in the secondary especially. If the Bears are unable to move the ball, it will be a very tough day for them, especially going forward if they can't move it against a defense that struggled. Dallas needs to have a good performance on that side of the ball for themselves in a competitive NFC where they need to be balanced to win football games. And finally, the Chiefs and Giants are playing on Sunday Night Football, both teams looking for their first win. The Chiefs are heavily favored in this one. However, the Giants have looked formidable with the Russ Wilson to Malik Neighbors connection and a good front four. Could they shock the Chiefs tonight at home? It's possible, I think, but the Chiefs are a veteran team with a good coach and a good quarterback. They're going to march in there looking to get it done. A loss would send, reverb throughout the league, so I think this is an interesting one for Kansas City. They need this one.